Alright, welcome to SouFLoTV again, everybody. It's your host with the most. So, let me start out by saying one of the most beautiful parishes in Jamaica, Manchester. Alright, if you've never been to Manchester, or the man them call it Galchester, then you owe it to yourself. And I'm talking about cool breeze, food can done. And you know, country people, them cook them food a certain kind of way. Nothing pan town people, but I'm just saying, we do our thing differently. How do I know? Because Clarendon is my place, and Clarendon is right next to Manchester, especially the part that I grew up. It's bordering Clarendon and Manchester. Alright, so this story that we're going to talk about today has to do with Manchester. Alright, so we focus on the parish first, and we're saying that great things come out of Manchester. Manchester have the rural side to it, the countryside to it, way up in the hills there, so up in a woy where certain town people don't feel comfortable living because Peanywally at night time is what light the way in these places still. Unless you are going to use buckle torch because no street light no there. Them kind of thing there. But if you ever enjoy a party in one of these areas, then you would know what it means to party under the stars. For real. Don't get it twisted though, you know. And poverty is how people choose to live, because it also has its upscale side to it. I mean, I talk about upscale like barely making it, barely getting there. I'm talking about upscale with nice houses that people even in a foreign can't afford them houses here, right? And this couple that we're going to talk about, they were from the more upscale side of Mandeville in Manchester. This is kind of an update to the story and putting faces to the names. Alright, I'm gonna whisk through them really quickly, and then we're gonna talk about the story, so stay tuned. Now, this man right here is the taxi driver that has been accused of doing the unthinkable. Try for dash with the lady, the 4th grade school teacher who is in critical condition fighting for her life right now, and this baby was dashed with by that man who is said to be the child's father. So, the story updated by the Gleaner at this moment says, the police last night called off the search for a man who was believed to have dramatically jumped into a sinkhole after allegedly chopping to death his 8-month-old baby and injuring the mother. Superintendent David White, commanding officer for Manchester, told the Gleaner last night that the Jamaica Defense Force and the Jamaica Fire Brigade has been mobilized to attempt to recover the man's body from the sinkhole. However, White said investigators now believe that that whole sinkhole escape theory thing there, that was just a lie. It was actually just a ploy to throw off the police, because a lot of people were saying how him run from the car and him jump in a sinkhole and they haven't seen him since. And I've been asking for days now, so they should have came up with a body at least, right? Well, it turns out they now believe that he actually didn't jump in no sinkhole. He's out there on the run somewhere, and given what he did, I would say he is extremely dangerous to anybody that he comes in contact with. People like them, yeah, nothing amongst normal people. You know what I mean? So, lead police investigators are now saying that that whole sinkhole theory thing was just something constructed to throw them off. The baby boy had been identified as Roshane McPherson, and I showed 1-second clip of the baby because it's a child, and in these kind of videos, and sometimes they're very funny about these things on YouTube, right? The report from the Manchester police is that the quiet and upscale suburb of McKinley Road in Mandeville was jolted at about 6:30 a.m. one early morning last week by blood-curdling screams of a woman who was embroiled in a domestic dispute with her common-law husband. So there you have it. They weren't married on paper, but they were common law wed, meaning they had been living together for quite a number of years. They said to have even had a child together, which is the child here, which you see what happened to the picnic. During the fight, they were having a fight, And during the fight, the man used a machete to hack both the baby, the 8-month-old baby, and his partner. Her name is Raquel Walters. The police said that the mother and the child were later rushed to the hospital where Rushane succumbed to his injuries while his mother underwent surgery. The man, then believed to have driven to a bauxite road near the community of Rambles in Porus, where he allegedly set his car ablaze. Well, it's not allegedly. Well, it might be allegedly who set it ablaze because we weren't there to see it. But this picture you're looking at right here is actually the car set ablaze. This is the same car that he used to use as a taxi, and it's the same car he escaped in. The police believe that he may have attempted to commit suicide by leaping into the sinkhole nearby a nearby district of Broadleaf. Yesterday, sitting on the primary exit profile grade 4 performance test at Rambles Primary, where the woman teaches, was postponed as the school community was left traumatized by the Grizzly attack. So the principal said, look, no exam today, lockdown, we're in mourning, we're grieving, and we're going to need some kind of counseling for these students, right? We talk about this all the time. Our children being traumatized by violence, whether they witness it firsthand or secondhand or in association, it's traumatic. And all we're doing is raising a nation of traumatized individuals. So it's no wonder that by the time they're a certain age, they're completely desensitized to things like these. Because from grade 4, me I watch people get chopped up, and even my teacher did get chopped up, and the woman next door used to get beat down, kicked down all the time, and and by the time they reach adult age, 18, 19, 20, it's like, another one head get bust out. Alright, we've talked about this before, right? So, Minister without portfolio, Carl Samuda, who has oversight for the Ministry of Education, expressed regret and outrage at the violent tragedy, saying that partners should seek to resolve disputes by seeking intervention from counselors. And there were some comments here that I'm going to read. So Dan said, too many weak men in Jamaica. Uno kill baby, mother, father, sister, brother, wife, baby mother. I don't understand it. What the is going on with these men? Chapno says, I don't know why these weakling mama man don't just dash for themselves before they hurt anyone else. Mongoose Town says, what can you say? Must be a mentally ill person because no sane person would do something like this. Haha. Lindell McCormack said, teacher shocking up. The society falling apart when an 8-month-old baby can be hacked to death by their own father. Jamaica has become a cold, hard place to live. Every kind of dispute must end with death. Maurice Melville says, I remember vividly that there was a time when Jamaican men used to actually love women. I can go on and on. Let me say something. Now remember, the streets are talking, and the streets are saying that that child was not his. And he had come to the realization that the child was not his, and he had been minding the child from birth till 8 months. So 8 months of his salary wasted on another man's child, right? She decided, okay, it's time to end the relationship and go our separate ways, and he became enraged. You have a next man baby palmy and all these other things. People have said teacher shocking up. Well, teacher I've seen might have been shocking up and more than shocking up. Alright. The jacket never go over too well, which is allegedly. Now to that last comment that someone said they can remember vividly that time where Jamaican men used to love women. I don't want nobody think I'm saying that Jamaican men still don't love women. But I'm telling you that there's something different going on in Jamaica. Even going to Jamaica recently in January and in March, and we spent a good amount of time there and moved around the country a lot. And just like one time gone, a woman stand up with a baby in her hand, a man wouldn't sit down there and eat a patty and drink a box juice in the hot sun and leave the woman standing there with the one chair that was available. He would actually say, you want to sit down with the baby? And I witnessed that happen personally with my wife and my son and us standing there, all right, out at airport. So, and this was an airport employee, by the way. Even inside the airport employees lay down sideways on the seatings that are available, and women are just left there standing around, holding their baggage, holding their children, etc. Nobody now say, come miss, you can't sit down here, so you know, me get up. Nothing. So those days are gone, really. And like most people say, probably the older men them alone have respect for women. No, I'm not saying that young men don't, but from what I've seen, things really have changed. Yeah man, there's been a cultural shift, yeah. And what can you expect though? I mean, Jamaicans have taken on everything to include, like how American females say, that's my bitch, and she's talking about her female friends. When me I grew up in a dog a bitch, you know, I know females glamorize that and call themselves me and my bitches, and so on and so forth. So when you're referring to yourself as a bitch, what do you think men are gonna treat you as? A bitch. And so if you've lost all respect for self, expect everybody else to lose all respect for you as well. And not to mention the change that has taken place among our men. And we've talked about this whole single mother raising boys to men with so much testosterone, not even testosterone, estrogen driven mind frame, behavior types. The alpha males are gone. That's the problem for me, right? I'm not going to go any further with this one. I'll pick it up in the comment section below. So leave your comments below and let's talk about this some more. Things have got to change. Man, it's SouFLoTV. I'm out. Peace.